Good morning, everybody, for joining us today. I would like to welcome our speakers today, who are our regional leaders. I would like to thank Khalid Al-Zajjali from Oman Convention Bureau and Sumaira Isaacs from Gulf Tune Middle East, who are our proud chapter leaders from the Middle East. Khalid is our chapter chair, and Sumaira is our deputy chapter chair. Welcome to the fifth edition of the Middle East Insights. To start with, I would like Khalid and Sumaira to give us a small introduction about your experience and your roles and how you have been in the region for, from the last decades to see what have you achieved and what you want to achieve. So it's your self-introduction.
Thank you,
Khalid, you can start.
Anju. Yeah. Thank you, Anju. Thanks, all the audience, all the participants today. I'm really glad to see you in this lovely and sunny day. Myself, I'm Khalid Azadjali. As you mentioned earlier, I'm the director of Oman Convention Bureau in the Ministry of Heritage and Tourism and Government of Oman. I'm more for my previous experience or my experience in in the sector for last 23 years. I just recognize this how many years we are working when you ask me these questions, and I'm so glad. And I kept working in the same organization for last 23 years. So I start my career, in 2001 in the Directorate General of Tourism, when we used to be only a department within the Ministry of Commerce, and I was in the marketing department as an executive. And we grew up, and then later on we become independent as a Ministry of Tourism. And I was my role was more mainly in the marketing side, destination promotion, for a number of years. And then later on, I become a head of the international exhibitions and the events happening, promoting Oman internationally. Later on, I got to be as a director of events in the Ministry of Tourism, which is mainly taking care of number of segments, which when I said events, it's the promotional events. So MICE was one of them with our responsibilities, but in a smaller scale. And then there is an events which is promoting the destination, such as the exhibitions or any international events. And then also the cruise business. And I'm proud to say that I was one of the members who established the Cruise Arabia, which is, lead the whole Middle East area or the Gulf area specifically to be one of the cruise destinations, especially in the winter time. So I was there with them and working in this sector for, again, a number of years. I will not go through details that much. And then in 2017 and 2016, I had an honor to give a responsibility to establish the Oman Convention Bureau. So Oman Convention Bureau, it's the government entity in charge of the business tourism, basically. And I was, having the honor, to be the first, to found and to work with the governments in order to establish this department within the government and within the Ministry of Tourism. And now I'm heading this department since 2016 until today. Yes. Besides that, definitely I was also a deputy chapter chair for ICCA for 2 years, and then later on I was be honored to be a chapter chair, and this is my second time, and I'm so glad to be there.
Thank you, Khalid. Sumaira.
Thank you.
Well, I cannot match what Khalid just now related here. So I've been in the region. If I'll say how long, will give away my age. So let's suffice that I'm a little bit more than Khalid, little bit more than 25 years in the region. And I think what's been amazing for me has really been part of my journey has been the growth of the region. So seeing it from really from literally 2 hotels, 3 hotels in the region to what it is today. And in that sense, I started my career in DMC world, okay, starting with the Arabian Adventures in Emirates. And that's where I really got my baseline and grounding and my discipline of what the destination and what the region requires. And through that journey, from being in a DMC, I went on to form the first PCO, which was the MCI group of the region, which was Middle East, India, and Africa. And I opened up offices for them in Dubai, doing startups and also some mergers and acquisitions, Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, India, and Canada as well. Um, Other than that, after that, I've had the honor of really crossing over in consultancy for tourism and working with World Bank, working with UN and WTO and all of these amazing organizations in one form or another to basically taking the learnings that we had from this amazing growth and region, into other developing countries. So I was CEO for Global Tourism Forum Institute for some time, and I really opened my eyes that what are the opportunities, that how tourism can really be a catalyst for change in developing world. And that was an eye opener, because working in this region and being part and product of this region, you take it for granted. You take for granted standards, you take for granted services. And for me, the opportunity with Global Tourism Forum was that taking all those learnings into Africa, into Pakistan, all of these developing countries, and educating them that how they can use tourism as a low-hanging fruit to bring about economical development change into the country. And then from that, I came back into DMC, back into the region of working and supporting again on very grassroots level. And I'm now with Gulf Tunes, a major 30 plus years brand, and supporting not just Dubai, but Abu Dhabi, Oman, one of my favorite destinations now, not just because Khalid is sitting there, and Saudi Arabia, Qatar, another amazing destination, and Bahrain. So there is a lot of activity going on here, and I'm so proud that I can continue to contribute to it.
Thank you, Samara. I mean, consolidatedly, we don't want to mention our age, but we are all having over 70 plus experience right now on this stage. And thank you so much for giving us time. So without further delay, I would like to delve into some key topics related to our region and your responsibilities and experiences in business events industry, which you've already touched on some elements. But I would like to ask, what are your responsibilities associated with serving as a chapter chair for the region? I mean, representing ICCA in the region. Um, Khalid, you're mute.
Mute?
It's okay. We can hear you.
Yeah,
We can
now
hear.
it's okay. Yes. Basically, the responsibility of the chapter chair is, I mean, there is a number of responsibilities, which I'm also sharing that with my deputy, Sumaira, and also with you as a director of the Middle East office of ICA. So basically, there is the most important point, there is a many of responsibility, but the most important point is to identify the opportunities, okay, of expansion and developments, and what will be a need to be in order for us to develop the sectors within the region, and to see how can we match between the role of ICA and the needs of the region, basically, and we see how we can match that and try to get the both party get benefits out of it. And organization like ICCA, a worldwide organization with having a great history, a great experience, and a great tools in data. And how can we utilize that and capitalize that and let everybody, the members in these organizations within the region, get benefits out of that. This is one thing. And maybe the other things is also advocating the needs of the members, to see what the members really looking for, what's their needs, what the demands, and how can ICA can approach those demands and make them happy with that demands, and try to give them their needs. So it's matchmaking. This is one point, and it's on the both side. It's also to show, it's to be ensured that the members of Middle East, of our in the chapter, really get and adopting all the benefits as to become a member of ICA. And also how can ICA also and how we can, as a members within the region, capitalized on ICA data and on ICA experience in order to develop the sector within their own destination or within the region. So that's we really, as a chapter chair, I think this is one of the very important role to play with, because that's one of the things we need to focus on it in order for us to go to the second level, or to grow basically. I mean, this is one of the this is my third point about the rules for the chapter chair. I think we need, as a chapter chair, I need to be sure that there is some growth in the business, there is a development in the business, and how we capitalize that within, to be as a member of ICA, and how we can increase the market share of the Middle East within the global share, and to be sure how can we adopt that. That's one part. The other part, that's from the commercial side. Also from the educational and development side, we're talking about how can we engage between ICA and the members in the chapter, in order for them to give them more education, more development, more skills to develop the sector within, even if they're within their own destination or within the region in general. So basically, this is a number of or some of the rules of the responsibilities of the chapter chair. And maybe one of the important points also to show, or to be as ambassadors of the members within the organizations, and try to deliver their requirement, their needs, their thoughts, and to see how can ICA also support us in that, and how can we encourage ICA also to support the region, and get all the members interest basically and what they're looking. So it's more about to be as an ambassador of the region within ICA, and to be a strong ambassador. I think this is one of major roles of the chapter chair, and to show the region through the chapter chair. I mean, either from the meetings or attending the events, or also from the collaboration we do, which we do it with the organization, either through the office with you in the Middle East, or through the headquarter in Amsterdam. So basically, this is, I think, the some of the rule for the chapter chair to be considered really.
Thank you, Khalid. You've touched on many elements, and I would like Sumera to just add any thoughts that she would have on this, because I would also summarize it in the end, how we are trying to utilize your roles within ICA.
I think Khalid has covered it all in theoretical level, that this is what we need to do, but on a very philosophical or broader level, I think that it is a two-way street. It's not just associations. I always say associations matter. Associations matter, and our industry associations matter, because they help you to be that megaphone, and to amplify our voices. that we exist, we as a region exist, and to be able to channelize the opportunities to the end customers, which are the various associations we want to tap into. ICCA being that platform is that opportunity that collectively we can make our voices heard and be able to tap into the vast resources and opportunities of ICCA, that we can entertain those associations, we can service those associations, and we can serve, make sure that we meet their long-term and short-term requirements. One of the projects that I really got involved in this region was to create this, the hub for associations was Dubai Association Center. It was a concept we put together many years ago, because the concept of international associations or international bodies is still fairly new to the region. So it's education is a two-way street, and it's also helping develop our local workforce, that they have to come up and meet those standards to be able to serve these associations. So I think being chapter chairs or serving on the board of these international associations, it's always an honor, but it's not about self-development or self-projection. It's more about projecting where we are, the tribe, the community that we belong to. And ICCA presents those opportunities for us to do that.
Thank you, Sumera, for wrapping up so well. I think we've already wrapped up everything. And ICA always is, I mean, it's a huge global organization. So we have divided ourselves into 6 regions, and every region is so specific, and it's so different from each other. And that's the reason why we have to tailor make every product to ensure that our members' needs are met, because they are different from different parts of the world. And I think you've also covered a bit on your experiences, that how you have added value, and Dubai Association Center is a great example, which is thriving now with so many events coming to the region. I mean, ultimately it's contributing to our market share. But I think we need to do more of those, and that's why there is a great potential in the region. Still, we still have very big untapped market, and it's very fascinating to hear how we are going to grow in the next 10 years. So how do you anticipate the market share of association meetings evolving, and what has been progressive in the last decade?
See, from my short experience in this sector and this industry, I think I could recognize there is a huge developments happening, especially in our region. If you're talking about the market share point of view, it's not just the size of the share; it's also the quality of the events which we host as a region. I think because there is a many reason behind that. When you're talking about the unique blend culture richness, I mean, some of people said it's come on, it's a business opportunities. What's the culture is related to it? I think culture is playing a strong role in that. When you're talking about like a Middle East culture or an our region culture, you're talking about the hospitality, you're talking about the communication skills, you're talking about the whole experience. Because for any events organizer, it's not just the venue, it's not just the thing with coming with the scientific part or the subject. It's more about the experience. Now, business events, it's more about experience. Yeah, there is a knowledge should we share with it for any events happening in each sector, but I think the experience which we can provide as a region is great. A great culture, infrastructure. We should not. I mean, we really having a huge development in infrastructure. Each part, each destination within the region. I don't want to mention a region. It's specifically our destination, but I believe I think every destination within the member of ICA having a great growth from the infrastructure point of view. When you're talking about the venues, the quality, the standard. I mean, when you're talking about the airports, when you're talking about the roads, I mean, safety issue, security issue. That's a really a concern for a number of events happening, which is in our region. We are so glad to have such a great level of high safety and security, in a positive manner, and uh, environmentally friendly things. We approach a lot. We had a lot of projects. We talk about the sustainabilities, and which is a number of the destination within the region which they adopted. That's another tools we should believe on it. The facility which we provide is not the infrastructure, the hotel, the roads. I think very important facilities. Visa facility itself. I think this is a very strong tools we as a region. So if I mention the advantage which can our destination as a region, we could, utilize it or capitalize on it in order for us to attract events. There is a many, and I think we are the fastest growth. Destinations, our region within on the world, and to have, I think an important point which I don't want to miss it, which is already the region experience a great events, such as we had a expo we had in Dubai, and now we're going to have another expo happening in Riyadh. We have the World Cup, and many which is all those kind of stories showing the capability of the region to grow and to attract a good business. This is the reason I'm always positive about it. People maybe they say to you, I'm a very I'm biased because I'm representing the region. It's not. It's there. It's there. We are there. We are growing. If you go from the industry point of view, sector wise, if you go through the sector wise, see how many sectors we really, as a region, very strong. Medical, finance. Now tell me how many, number of the region destination will become a financial hub. We become a medical hub. And there is other, a telecom, international, a number of industries, you just name it. Okay, and you see how the growth happening in those sectors or industries within the region, either representing some destinations or the region in general. So all these tools, airlines, that's another tool. See, when you decided to have an events, okay, you will think about what the tools or what is the stakeholder should be involved in it. We just cover most of them. And I think beyond that, and the final things that we should we're proud when we go to the international events, we could see the difference of the quality, what kind of event we deliver, and what's the other. I think from the standard wise, the region helped to raise the quality and the standard of the events worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Khalid. I think Sumera, you would like to add if
Yeah.
your
So,
thoughts.
I want to reflect on what Khalid has just said. Yeah, why this has happened, how this has happened, and is this a figment of our imagination, or is this a collective effort? What exactly just happened in this region? So, some 20 years ago, when we seek standards as a destination, we looked westward. Okay, we looked at all of the standards that could be copied or learned from or brought over. Was the from UK as a market, US as a market, Germany as a market, France as a market. This was the effort. We didn't look so much Asia-ward, but yes, only maybe perhaps Hong Kong and Singapore and as benchmarks. But really, the focus was looking westward and acquiring some of that knowledge and bringing it and backward integration into our region. But what has changed over the years? What has changed is that now the benchmarks are within the region. We are benchmarking against, Qatar is benchmarking against Dubai. Dubai is doing it with Saudi. Saudi is doing it with Abu Dhabi, or Bahrain, or so all of the standards that we are talking about, what Khalid is touching upon, are really here within our region. So the competition is a healthy competition. It's a brotherly competition that we learn from one another. Outwardly we are independent destinations. Within our Middle East region, you have so many other destinations, but inwardly we are all connected. There is a symbiotic link. There is a mutual respect of what one region country delivers to the world, so it's a global framework that we follow, but eventually it's our own picture we paint. So this is a very, very important lesson. Then, of course, you have standards there, that Khalid has talked about. The standards, we are not satisfied. We are not happy with what we have. We set very high bars for ourselves. And then safety and security. Today, where in the world, you can have a destination that delivers end to end on all aspects of security. I just delivered, our company has just been in the process of delivering a major project in Abu Dhabi. One of the comments that the feedback that I had from the client, it's nearly 1,500 people who have flown in globally there. And that event is still going on. I think it's on the last 2 days of the delivery. And one of the things that the client said, they said, what the difference was coming into Abu Dhabi is the peace of mind. We know that everything will fall in place. We know that everything will work. And it's that guarantee is what we deliver. And I think that's what sets us apart from anything else.
True. I would definitely agree with what you just mentioned. Myself being in the region from 1995, I have seen how the perception is about the region and how it has changed over a period of time. And people, how the region itself has supported so many initiatives, making visas so easily available. Everything is so quick, and the standard is so you know at a level where they don't even have to think. Even if they go to a 3-star or a 4-star, they don't have to go back to the feedback or comments or anything. It's just, oh, it's in the Middle East, it's like a 5-star. So I think we've already reached that level, and I am sorry that we are not having a lot of time left. There were a lot of other questions that I wanted to ask, but I want to summarize, and I want to ask one probably a question where you need to just give me in brief, what do you believe that the Middle East, does it have the capacity to support the increasing demand, and what exactly is your recommendation to provide, like, to enhance and to strengthen the sector in the region?
Andrew, just on a brief to answer these questions and to conclude our conversation on this, absolutely, we are ready as a Middle East. I think we're becoming, the conclusion of the previous questions, the answer was that we are the niche, or we are, I would say we become as a case study for any international events to be held. Earlier, and now with the demand, just name it. I'll just give you a brief, quick example. Okay, just imagine the number of the members, how the members in the region, from all the Middle East destinations, how they are really proactive, and each of those the member are really doing a great collaboration with us in order to show how's the region. The collaboration, it's happening not only between the quality of the service or the events, also the diversification of the events which we host so far. That show we from the experience point of view. Okay, there is a huge potential. As I mentioned, infrastructure is there. The willingness from the governments, all the governments, and most of them, and the member of the chapter, they are really willing to support this sector because they believe it's not just the financial impact or economic impact. It's more about also scientific impact, knowledge impact, create future leaders. I mean, we should mention that also the academy, which was created by the ICCA chapter in the
Yeah.
Middle East. And I would love you to, to mention this, very important to all our audience here. It's also not, we are involving the academic part. That, see how this is this kind of sector is not just supporting one segment. It's not just a tourism. It's not just the economic. It's the knowledge, how we could share and bring it to the region. And region is growing from all the sectors. So definitely, to answer this question, We are there, we are in, and I think with the great news we're hearing from everyone's happening, the events happening in the region, I think there is a huge potential, and there is a chance to get more and better quality and diversification of the events also.
Thank you, Khalid.
Yes, I think from my perspective, we have just started scratching the surface, and this is only the beginning. And the great thing is that we've had an amazing track record for the last 10, 15 years. The last decade has been a game changer for the region. And I think the next decade is going to be even greater. I also want to emphasize again on the role of in our industry associations such as ICA, because I think it's very important to bear in mind that we cannot go it alone. So the role of these organizations, why we are giving our time, we are volunteer workers, okay, why we are, because it's part of that whole big mentorship cycle. I want to give back to the industry what the industry gave me. And organizations like ICA provide me with that structured opportunity to bring in more members who can learn from our story, because in a way we are influencers in the industry. So it falls on our shoulders. It's our responsibility that for the next generation we are able to educate them and guide them. And again, ICA has amazing programs, and I want to specifically one that is very near to me and dear to my heart is one is on several initiatives on young leadership programs and on sustainability, because I think that these this is the future. And again, ICA is an amazing platform to be able to benefit from that.
Yes. And yeah, I would like to little bit echo on that, that we have just launched our academic community so that we can have this right from the grassroots, to have universities involved in ICA research, in ICA papers, and also, even if there is two students or three students that come out from each university who would be our future leaders, that's growing our potential from the region, because I think we really need more and more people to support the vision of our visionaries in the region. I am waiting to see what the region is going to look like in 2030, because we have so many visions that are going to come in light. And here to support the region to grow, and to make many more smaller association groups, because they are, I think, the first ambassadors, and then our chapter leaders, our influencers in the region, who are able to carry the entire region into the global platform, and in through a one voice. So thank you so much, Khalid. Thank you so much, Sumera, for
Thank you, Anju.
giving your time
Thank you, Andrew.
schedule. And thank you, everybody who has been participating as an audience. We will share the recording for those who have unable to join, and it will be available on the social media platform. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Have a
you.
good day.
Thank you.
You
Thank
Thank you.
too.
you.
Bye. Bye.